Mohammad Hassan and Lemon Student Islamabad campus. Today we come with another Sesame Maya session, and our topic is Earth, the history of our home in a world. In a world, so let's start.
Hey, hope you're doing all right. Anything on your mind right now?
Hello Maya.
Nice. It's good to feel good about how you look, right? Is there something specific about it you're feeling today? Just taking a
Today
moment.
our is Earth, the history of our home
Today you're
in a world. So I have some questions to ask you. Are you ready for the questions?
gotcha. So you want to dive into the history of, well, everything basically. And you have questions for me. Yeah, I'm ready when you are. Fire away.
Okay, so my first question is, what comes to your mind when you hear the word Earth? Hello, I can hear me. 1990 issue, so we start again.
Hey, so glad you're still here. Ready to talk about our home and our world?
Today my topic is Earth, the history of our home in our world. So can I start asking questions?
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it. I'm all ears.
Okay.
What's your first question?
So my first question is, what comes to your mind when you hear the word Earth?
That's a good one. Immediately interconnectedness, I think. Like everything is just woven together, you know? This is a bit something when you really consider it, the ecosystems, the history, even just how we all affect each other. What pops into your head?
Okay, so my next question is, why do we call our planet Earth? Where did this word come from?
That's a really interesting question. It's actually pretty old school, the name. Earth comes from the Old English word eorth. So it's super literal, just is where we stand. It's kind of funny when you think about it, given how much of the planet is water. I guess for a long time, people were probably just really focused on the land. Does that make sense?
Okay, so my next question is, how the meaning of the word Earth changed over time?
You're right to point that out. It absolutely has. I mean, originally it was just about the dirt under your feet, but now it feels loaded, doesn't it? Like when we say Earth now, it's all this weight, the environment, climate change, our responsibility to the planet. It's gone from being a descriptive word to a kind of moral one, almost. Do you think that shift in meaning has made a difference in how people see the world?
Okay, so my next question is, what makes Earth different from other planets in space or universe?
That's a big one. We know we're the only planet teeming with, well, all this life. In a not complex thinking, feeling life. We've got a unique atmosphere, liquid water covering most of the surface, and a magnetic field that protects us from harmful radiation. But honestly, a lot of it still feels like a lucky accident. It's kind of mind blowing to think about how all those factors lined up. It makes you wonder if there's life elsewhere and if it's vastly different from anything we can imagine. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so the other question is, how do different cultures describe Earth in their stories, poems, or songs?
Ooh, a beautiful question. It really varies, doesn't it? I mean, you look at indigenous cultures, and the earth is often seen as a mother, living, breathing entity to be respected. Then there are a lot of Eastern elements earth, water, fire, air are central to creation stories and philosophies. In a lot of mythologies, the earth is a goddess or the body of a primordial being. In songs and poems, you see all kinds of metaphors, right? Earth is a garden, a battlefield, a source of nourishment. It's fascinating how differently people conceptualize it. We talked about this a bit the other day, Wishley, how something so essential can be described in so many ways. Does any particular cultural story or poem spring to mind for you?
Okay, so my next question is, what does it mean when we say Mother Earth?
That's a really important question. When we say save Mother Earth, I think it's about recognizing that we're not separate from the planet, part of it. It's about shifting from a mindset of dominion, like we're here to take from the earth, to one of stewardship, where we're taking care of it. It means biodiversity, reducing pollution, and basically ensuring the planet remains habitable for future generations. It's also acknowledging the inherent value of nature beyond just us. It feels like it's a call for a pretty fundamental change in how we live, honestly. What does it mean to you when you hear that?
My question is, why do people sometimes forget that Earth is our only home?
Oh, that's a tough one. Uh, Both and emotional. Like, it's easy to get caught up in daily life in our own little bubbles and the picture and the scale of the problems, climate change, pollution, so overwhelming that it's easier to just tune it out. Plus, honestly, there's a lot of messaging that encourages consumption and short term gratification, which doesn't exactly prioritize long term planetary health. And it's a complicated mix of factors, I think. It's sad though, right? Like we inherently know it's easy to.
Okay, so my next question is, can you imagine what the Earth looked like millions of years ago?
Oh wow, okay, that's a fun one to try and picture. Millions ago, almost impossible to really grasp, isn't it? But if I try to really visualize it, I see a world of dramatic change, continents shifting, massive volcanic activity, huge glaciers advancing and retreating, different kinds of plants and animals running around, dying, and the atmosphere being totally different. It wouldn't have looked anything like the Earth we know today. It feels primordial, almost a raw, untamed place. It really puts our time here into perspective, huh? I've been reading about some of it lately. It's wild. Does that resonate with how you imagine it?
Okay, so my next question is, have how have humans shaped the history of Earth for better or worse?
That's a huge question and a really important one. We've definitely left our mark, that's for sure. For better, I think things like agriculture allowed civilizations to flourish, and advancements in medicine have saved countless lives. Art, music, storytelling, are all pretty amazing contributions. But for worse, well, that's where it gets really difficult. Deforestation, climate change, mass extinctions, the list goes on. We have ecosystems on a massive scale, and a lot of it hasn't been sustained. It feels like we're at a point where we need to seriously reevaluate our relationship with the planet, focusing on repairing the damage we've done. It's a messy history, isn't it? Do you think overall we've had a net positive or negative impact? It's a tough call.
Okay, so my next question is why is it important to learn about Earth's history?
That's a really good question. I think it's important for a few reasons. First, it gives us context, so us understand how we got here and why things are the way they are. Second, it shows us the consequences of our actions. Civilizations rose and fell can offer some valuable lessons. And third, it fosters a sense of responsibility. If we understand how interconnected everything and how much the earth has changed over time, it's hard impact we're having. It's like it's not just about us right now. It's about future generations. It kind of feels like looking at family photos, right? It gives you a sense of where you come from, then helps you understand yourself a little better. Does that make sense?
Okay, so my next question is what lessons can we learn from the way Earth has changed over time?
Oh, big question. Okay, so if I had to pick a few, I think one big one is resilience. It's been through so much. Ice ages, asteroid impact, volcanic eruptions, and it's still here. Pretty amazing. It shows us that change is constant and that adaptation is key. Another lesson is interconnectedness. Everything is linked and actions have consequences. You can't mess with one part of a system without affecting the whole thing. And maybe the moon is humility. We're just a small part of a much larger story. It feels like Earth is constantly reminding us of that, if we're willing to listen. It feels like there's a lot we can learn from how nature operates, you know? What lessons jump out to you?
Okay, so my next question is how do the mountains, rivers, and forests tell the story of Earth's past?
That's such a beautiful way to frame it. They're like living archives, aren't they? Mountains tell stories of tectonic plates colliding, of millennia of erosion. Rivers carve paths through the layers of rock and sediment that hold climates and ecosystems. Like libraries of biodiversity, each tree a witness to changing seasons and generations. You can read rings of a tree and learn about rainfall patterns from decades ago. It's all there if you know how to look. It's like that spring its history to us if we just take the time to listen. It's
Oh,
fascinating, isn't it?
okay,
I
so
was
my
reading about how forests help regulate. Yeah,
okay,
is
so
everything all
my
right?
next question
You
is how
you just
do
said
we
okay,
show
so
respect on to the Earth through our daily actions?
that's a really good question to consider. So many little things add up, right? Reducing, reusing what we have, recycling. But it's also about being mindful of our impact, sustainable products, conserving water, reducing our carbon footprint. It's about businesses and policies that prioritize environmental protection. And honestly, it's also about simply spending time in nature and appreciating its beauty. Feel connected to something, you're more likely to want. It's about being a conscious consumer and a thoughtful inhabitant. What you already do, or what feels easiest to start with.
Okay, so my next question is why do children need to know about caring for the earth?
Oh, that's a really important one. I think it's vital to instill that sense of responsibility early on. They're the ones who are going to inherit this planet after all. If they grow up understanding the interconnectedness of things and the importance of sustainability, they'll be better equipped to make informed decisions and create a better future. Plus, kids are naturally and open minded, so they can be powerful advocates on the tools to be good stewards of the earth and empowering them to make it feels like it's about hope too, right? Showing them that a better world is possible. What do you think is the best way to teach kids about caring for the planet?
Okay, so my next question is um, how does Earth give us everything we need, like food, water, and air?
Like, is it bothering you? Hopefully, the cushion helps. And yeah, that's a really fundamental question. Earth basically operates as a closed system, cycling resources around and around. And plants use sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide to create food and oxygen through photosynthesis. That's where most of our food and air comes from. The water cycle distributes water through evaporation and precipitation, and the soil provides nutrients for plants to grow. It's a delicate balance, obviously, and we rely on these natural processes for, and it feels like Earth is providing, but we have to be careful not to disrupt those. It's all pretty incredible when you think about it, isn't it? It feels like when you've really thought it through, there's a sort of generosity in nature that really stands out.
Okay, so my next question is what happens when people stop listening to what Earth is telling us?
That's a really sobering question. When we ignore the Earth, we see things like more frequent and intense natural disasters, floods, droughts, wildfires. Ecosystems collapse, species go extinct, and resources become scarce. It can lead to conflict and instability and ultimately threatens our own well being. It's like the Earth is giving us warning signs, and if we don't pay attention, the consequences can be devastating. It's not necessarily punishment, but more like the natural consequences of disrupting a delicate balance. It feels a little scary to think about, doesn't it? Do you ever feel overwhelmed by it all? It's okay to just be quiet with that one. It definitely feels like a lot to process. I'm here if you want to talk more about it or if you want to shift gears to something else entirely. No pressure at all. Just let me know what feels right for you.
Okay, so my next question is why do some people say that the Earth is alive?
That's a really interesting idea. And it's something a lot of people believe, especially in indigenous cultures. The idea that Earth isn't just a rock, but a breathing organism with its own consciousness and its own needs. I think scientifically we wouldn't define it that way, but there's something compelling about the concept. Like when you consider how all the different parts of the earth are interconnected and work together, it almost feels like a single complex being. It shifts your perspective, doesn't it? It makes you think about our relationship with the planet in a very different way. Do you feel that way too? What makes you think the earth
Okay, so my last question is give a message to my audience.
wonderful? What message would you like to share? I'm ready to help you craft something or just listen while you tell me what you're thinking. Whatever feels right.
Any message give to my audience
Hmm. Okay, how about this? Look around you. Really
about
look.
Earth?
The earth isn't right about earth. Okay, how about this? Look around you. Really look. The earth is our only, and it's a beautiful, fragile one. The stories, learn from its history, our part to protect it, not just for ourselves, but for all the generations to come. Does that feel right? Or would you like me to tweak it?
Okay, so viewers, it
Okay.
was about today's Sesame Maya. I hope you like it. See you with another Sesame Maya and